Hello, hello, hello. All right, give me just a minute to settle in here. Change the thumbnail, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hello, everybody. Oh, look, chat looks good on the screen. It looks better. I fucking fixed it, man. Love that. Okay. Now, we got to get a couple more things ready. I cannot see chat yet, actually, over here. So what if I do this? I think this will disappear, though. Right? If I go like this? Yeah, that's no good. That doesn't work for me. We should move that wheel on the wall. What wheel? What wheel on the wall? Oh, that spinning wheel? Oh, shit. I see what you're saying. I'm not going to move that, though. I do see what you're saying, but I've got a layer behind it. Hold on. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. And we'll go see everything that's happening before the election. Or during the election, because this should have started right now. Okay, I have to get rid of that so I can get a permanent chat up. Go over here, bust this out. Shrink, 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 shrink. All right, almost got it. Disable. Oh no, I lost it. Tech support junkie, yeah, we're back in action here. Okay, that's gonna go down. This is gonna go over. This is gonna go over. Oh, that sucks. I can't see any restream numbers. What a bunch of fucking dog water. All right, I'm with you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How's my mic sound? Does it sound overmodulated? Does it sound busted out too much? We're going in. Let's go down. Okay. Election 2024. And always tell me if you see anything. Send me all the links you possibly could want to send a human being over on the chat side of things. Hello, Chris O. What's up from multiple states? Depending on what time you comment, what are you driving across state lines right now? What's happening over there with you? All right. Everybody who puts so much into these poly market things, it kind of fucking blows my mind, if I'm honest. Popular vote winner 2024, Kamla Harris 73 to Trump 27, which I think is definitely going to happen. I think she's going to win the popular vote. I don't know how big of a margin it'll be by. Honestly, I wish the winner would just win the popular vote as well, because it seems like it would be less annoying if that was the case. Tech support continued. Can you see the chat messages or no? Can you not see them? Don't tell me to stop cursing. I will curse literally the whole fucking stream if you do that. Don't do that. Do not do that to me. You can't see the chat messages. I think it's one thing. It is the fact that it's such a white background on this particular website. The election itself, this is Polymarket where people trade on this stuff, has Trump at 62.1%, which he was going down earlier. He was down as low as 55.9%. Now it's up to 62 to Kamala Harris's 38. This is just people putting their money where their mouth is. It doesn't mean anybody's actually going to vote this way. Trump claims victory before the AP calls the election, 83% chance. I would buy that. I would buy that. I think that will legit happen. All right, let me see if I can zoom things in a little better so you can see. Okay, chat is just invisible on light sites. Hang on. What if I go night mode on my browser? Would that do it, you think? How do I go night mode on my Chrome browser? Oh, this is a boomer moment for me. How to Chrome night mode. Bottom right of the new tab page. What the fuck? Select customize Chrome at the bottom right of a new tab page. Like this, new tab page, customize Chrome. Dark mode. Ah, okay, now I'm on dark mode. Does Polymarket go with me? Or is it going to stay light mode? Oh, it's just perma light mode. That's just what they're going to do. Okay, I'll put it on dark mode for everything else. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for all the tech support help. Appreciate you. Record turnout in the 2024 presidential election. What is record election turnout in United States? What's the record for this? Voter turnout in the United States, that's 2018 to 2022. That's not, I want like, oh, here we go. National turnout rates, 1789 to present. Holy cow. This is old school. Okay, so the percentage of people participating in elections, obviously it's going to be lower for reasons at this part because, you know, women and black people couldn't necessarily vote during those years. High turnout here, though, like the 1860s, 1870s in the presidential election. That's the highest turnout. I don't know if we'll beat that. What's that, 82% or so? That's our record high ever. And this is our last election in 2020. So we're off that pretty much. We're not even up to 70%. I don't know that we would hit like record turnout if that is what our benchmark is. The balance of power, 38% say a Republican sweep could happen. 27% saying a Democratic president, a Republican Senate, and a Democratic House. 16 Republican president, Republican Senate, and a Democratic House. That's what I think is actually going to happen. They only have it at 16%. So I don't know if I'm just way off on that. We'll see. When will the election be called? Only 16% say today. Do you guys think the election will be called today? What do you think? Will the election be called today, actually? Do you think yes? That's at 16%. Will it be called Wednesday, tomorrow? 53% say yes, and then 17 saying Thursday. Not today, no shot. Nope, it will not be called today. Yeah, I agree. I think it could be called late, but I think it's more likely that it's called tomorrow. I think that I'm talking about from the Associated Press or from like news outlets, not just Trump going, fucking won. I'm the winner. Nobody's better. None of that shit. Actually won. Like the actual call. Election day turnout in Clark County, Nevada. Let's see what these numbers look like. I definitely got to zoom in on the Twitter links because it's like a tweet is so small. You know what I mean? Can you guys see that? I guess it depends on what size screen you're on, obviously. But can you see this? This is election day turnout. We're looking at Clark County, Nevada. Democrat turnout 31% to 28% Republican turnout. The NPAs, the non-party affiliates, the independents, we dwarf the other people. We dwarf them. We're 40%, but nobody talks to you. Democrats are now at 2.9 up on the Republicans. Things are slowing down a bit after lunchtime, yada, 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 yada. I don't know what I'm taking from that, but that just shows that turnout in Clark County, Nevada, which Clark County is that's where the capital is? Clark County. It's by Vegas, isn't it? Clark County is Vegas, I think, right? Yeah, Clark County is Las Vegas. So that's what they're saying is happening there. Control of the House and Senate is up for grabs. What's Trump doing over on Truth? Is it insane over there? Because I already see like people screenshotting him. This is old. Every website, cookies, notifications, cookies. A lot of talk about massive cheating in Philadelphia, law enforcement coming, says Trump. And then an hour ago, he posted this.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered?
Bigger than the NFL playoffs.
Look at the opportunities before us. America is a land of heroes. This is a place where greatness is born. Our ancestors settled the
Dramatic
Wild
ending.
West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, and we are making it greater than ever before.
He brought us together. Remember when that happened?
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again. No matter the trials.
Is this the ad that ran that NBC had to do the equal time for? I think it might be.
No matter the challenges to come, we must keep freedom alive in our souls. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
From the RNC, right? I believe that's what that's from. He doesn't get nearly as much engagement. Look at let's compare this, okay? Twitter, Trump. So he's been tweeting a lot, even though contractually he's not allowed to do that. He's supposed to post everything on Truth first. Let's take just like a random one, okay? Is this pinned? I don't want to take it if it's pinned. It is pinned. I'll stay away from that. So this is from an hour ago. Same exact video that we just watched. On Twitter, 2.8 million views, 65,000 likes, 12,000 retweets, and 3,000 comments. 3,000 comments. On Truth, 780 comments, right? Like he just doesn't have, he's the biggest thing on Truth, but he's the only thing on Truth. He's just not getting the same amount of impressions over on that platform, and I don't think he will. He just doesn't have the people. But right now they're throwing everything at the wall because they know there's still polls open until 7 o'clock. Did you guys see this? Is this real or what? Let's watch this together. Okay, and I want to, maybe the community notes that are proposed to this will give me some more information. But the idea is that Kamala Harris was taking a call with a voter, and the voter wasn't actually there, and she was faking a call.
Have you voted already?
Have you voted already?
You did, thank you.
You did. All right, then she goes like this, and they're saying this is her camera app. Like, this is proof it's her camera app, so she's lying and she wasn't actually on the phone with somebody. I don't know, would it do that? Like, if I was on the phone with somebody, it would give me the phone screen thing. She's got an iPhone, same as I do, I believe, unless I'm crazy. But it seems like why would you do that? Why not actually get on the phone with somebody? Who cares? It's just a dumb look if she gets caught faking something like that, if she's on the camera app. Let's see what the community notes say. When being on a call on the iPhone, the screen of the iPhone will be turned off as seen in the video. This means she was in fact on a call while simultaneously being in the camera app. Could have happened due to accidentally pressing the camera button on the home screen. Could have been. Kamala Harris is not on a phone call, as can be seen when she turns her phone around. They're just fighting on this shit back and forth. When the camera app is open on an iPhone, but you're in a call, the phone will lock when it's close to your face, which is what happened in this clip, suggesting she was in fact in a call. Here's a demonstration. So maybe she wasn't lying.
I go to the photo app, right?
XQC.
And now I put the phone to my ear. Yo, hold on, don't talk. Bro, I'm testing something. Just forget about it. Hold on.
Hang on.
Oh, it does. It does. All right, you're good, bro. Bro, I'll text you. Thank you for picking up the phone, man. I appreciate it. Love you, bro. I'll talk to you later.
So she was on a call. All right, that's just how the phone operates when it does that. Okay, so fake scandal there. Let's see what else is going on. It's his time. One! Ha 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 ha. I don't think she was lying. It's stupid to pick this as the silent coda, aka Austin. That's Austin in disguise, everybody. Don't let him fool you. Yeah, it's dumb. Like either she's doing it or not. Like it looked like she was on the phone app or on the video app, and if she was and she was faking the call, then that's stupid. But if she wasn't and that's the way the phone works, there's no reason to lie about it for sure. If Kamala Harris loses this election, it's not because she's a woman. It's because she's Kamala Harris, says this person. I just heard from Dylan, and Dylan texted me like maybe in the last hour of the show. And he's like, what's going on? What's happening? And I said, just sitting, getting ready for a bunch of stuff tonight. And he goes, yep, I just got done voting. And I was like, oh, look at this guy. He's out there voting. He's voting and doing his thing. He was fired up about it. And voting on the amendments and all that stuff. I created a human being that went out and voted. Damn, that seems weird to consider. But I guess that's true. We have 2 hours, less than 2 hours until the polls close in most of Florida. Of course, you know that the Panhandle has more than one time zone. We've got a long ass panhandle in the state of Florida. Most of Florida is EST, and right now it's 5 o'clock and the polls close in 2 hours. But there's that small section where the voting stays open for an additional hour. So at 8 o'clock is when I would expect the most explosive information. At 8 o'clock, you're going to get all of Florida. You'll already have some ideas on the majority of Florida. You'll get Pennsylvania. You'll get in 16 other states along with it. You get a lot of states up the East Coast. You'll have a lot at 8 o'clock. So 7 o'clock will be like the beginning whispers of what some of these results are. And then after that, it'll be a lot more significant. Oh, let's see if there's more about this guy with the flare gun. This says he had a manifesto. U.S. Capitol Police reportedly arrested a man. Oh, is this just okay, let's get the press conference. Hang on. This guy just like poured fuel on himself. Here they come.
Hello, everybody. You have a good mic check? You ready to go?
No, it's low.
Everyone's good? Okay. I'm Tim Barber. I'm the Communications Director for the United States Capitol Police. Obviously, today's a very big day, and this is why we wanted to alert you to what happened today and the action that our officers took. United States Capitol Police Chief J. Thomas Manger is going to give you a brief synopsis as to what happened today, and then he's going to answer a few questions, keeping in mind that obviously this just happened this afternoon, and there's some details that we have to hold back as our investigators do their work. Here's Chief Manger.
All right, Major, what do you got?
At about 12:20 this afternoon, a white male entered the south entrance of the Capitol Visitor Center and approached the screening area. He was directed to put his coat and his backpack down for screening. He stood there for a few seconds, then put his stuff on the conveyor belt. As soon as his backpack and his jacket went into the screening area, U.S. Capitol Police officers staffing that screening area saw what appeared to be something in the shape of a firearm. They also saw 2 bottles in the backpack.
Bro, how did this guy, what's going on in somebody like this in their head? This guy, he rub-a-dub-dubs himself up in gasoline, and then he goes to the Capitol, and he's going through security on Capitol Hill, and they see what looks like guns, and he's just like calmly going through, and then at some point he was going to shoot off some flare guns or something. This guy must be mentally ill, right?
As the man was standing there, one of the officers noticed a faint odor of gasoline.
All right, so he smells like gas.
When they pulled the backpack off the conveyor belt, they noticed a much stronger scent of gasoline. At that point, the subject was detained. He was placed under arrest. We found a flare gun, a lighter, and a a torch lighter in
All right.
his jacket. There was also other articles in his backpack, and he is now in custody. And again, very active investigation. We located his vehicle. That was several blocks away.
I think they said he had some sort of manifesto, which I never know if they should release that stuff or not release that stuff, but I'm curious at the very least, like, what team was this guy on, or was he just on Team Crazy?
We now have the vehicle as well, and again, ongoing investigation. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Somebody asked about the manifesto.
Had a manifesto that was anti-government and had maybe some pro-Palestinian or anti-Israel manifestations in that.
The audio on this is bad. I'm sorry.
Michigan. Is that accurate? And what can you elaborate on that?
He had papers with him that he said his intent was to deliver them to Congress. We're still going through all of those papers. It's quite a bit, and we are trying to determine where, in fact, he did come from. And again, active investigation. So there's a lot of follow-up. When we get that information, there'll be additional follow-up.
Okay, so he had a whole bunch of papers with him, and who knows what these papers are? Some crazy nonsense, I'm sure. And the papers were like what he wanted to deliver to Congress, but clearly he was going to light himself on fire and maybe fire off some flares and shoot them at somebody, which or himself. I don't fucking know. He was doing something with flares, and I think you could probably do some damage, like point blank, a flare, firing off like that. That's got to be fatal, right? I would think so. I would think a flare gun just that close to your face could be potentially fatal. Let's see what else we have here. This is somebody with a schedule of what they think things are going to look like time-wise. Let's see. While I am sorting out, this is Henry Olson, who is beyond the polls. While I'm sorting out whether I'll be able to live stream tonight, here's an election night advance thread on what to watch for. Number one, Georgia and Virginia close at 7 p.m. ET. Georgia will post its electronic votes. Is that what that is? EV? By 8 p.m. Based on the estimate of more than 5.3 million votes total, the EV will be about 76% of turnout. So that means almost right away by 8 o'clock, they will post all of their votes, which is going to be 76% of turnout. So you'll know 76% of the votes in Georgia by 8 p.m. It's the best way to say that, I think. Virginia has two heavily contested CDs, Virginia 2 and Virginia 7. Biden carried VA 2 by about 2 and VA 7 by a bit under 7. Any material change in the margins will be indicative of where similar voters go elsewhere. This is what I was talking about. I said, look at Palm Beach County, look at Pinellas, look at those areas. And if they're starting to swerve in either way dramatically, that's exactly where everything's going to go. So if you heard Palm Beach County flipped red, that's insanity. Like, that's going to be a Trump landslide if that's the case. Those two districts in Virginia, VA2 and VA7, they're saying Biden carried VA2 by 2 and VA7 by a bit under 7. If it was Kamala Harris by less than those numbers, then you can kind of guess where things are going from there. Most of Michigan and Pennsylvania will close at 8 p.m. Michigan should post its EV earlier than PA. Many PA small and medium-sized counties should post quickly. The EV in North Carolina will be 75 to 80% of turnout, but 55 to 60% in Michigan and 25 to 30 in Pennsylvania. Dems should lead big in Pennsylvania, he says. Wisconsin closes its polls. Now we're up to 9 p.m. At that time, you got Wisconsin, Arizona, and various other markets. Wisconsin can release their EV after 9, but it can't release partial totals if, like Milwaukee, the county uses a central counting facility. These are all the nitty-gritty rules. We should get a lot of votes by Georgia by 9 p.m. By 9:30 p.m., we should have a handle on Georgia and have good totals, including E-Day votes, Election Day votes from North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. We'll start to have real numbers, but probably not enough to be clear. The Ohio Senate may be ready to call. And then you've got election voting from Arizona at 10 p.m. That's going to be 70% of the total. By 10:30, we should know how Georgia, Ohio Senate, and North Carolina fared. 10:30, 11 o'clock, you've got most of these polls closed at that point. He says, I'll be here until it's clear where the election has gone, no earlier than midnight, blah, blah, blah. I hope it can live stream. There's going to be tons of people doing this, obviously, but that seems like an okay timeline. If you want to stay up and know who the winner is, it seems like it's going past midnight. That's what it seems like to me. Philly Dems projecting optimism both on turnout and possibility that Harris can come out of the city with 475,000 or higher margin, which would be what? And that's about in line with 2016 or 2020. That's what they usually get in the state. More talk about those bomb threats. And if you guys are seeing anything, drop a link in the chat. I can grab them right off of Restream and take a peek here. Oh, Tucker Carlson's doing his live stream. He's at Mar-a-Lago, I guess, with the president. Who I don't know when Trump slept. Maybe Trump slept on the flight because he did back-to-back rallies and then landed in Palm Beach at, I think, 6 a.m. and then was up voting during the show at the beginning of the show today. So you would have not a lot of time there. Maybe he slept on the flight or something. Or he's sleeping right now, getting ready for tonight. Or the son of a bitch is just going to go straight through it. That's a lot. Some statements from the uncommitted. I saw one of the leaders of this uncommitted movement, which if you don't know about this, so the people who are part of the uncommitted movement, it's big in Minnesota. It's big in places with large populations of Muslim Americans. And their idea was that what's happening in Gaza is so bad and so horrific that they can't possibly vote for Kamala Harris, genocide, et cetera, and we're not going to vote for Kamala. And now I saw just moments ago, one of the leaders of this uncommitted movement was on MSNBC saying, hey, I voted for Kamala Harris. Like I bit the bullet and voted for Kamala Harris. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like, hey, we're feeling like there's an emergency here and we made a huge mistake. Or if that means they just decided we're going to vote for the Democrats at the end of the day. This is majority of Democrats and Harris voters oppose her stance on unrestricted weapons transfers fueling Israel's illegal actions. If she wins, our plan is for this coalition to demand that she confront this moral and political catastrophe. But they really kind of shot themselves in the foot by just the entire time being anti-Kamala Harris and saying they weren't going to vote or they're going to vote for Jill Stein or somebody. And now some of them at the last moment seem to be going back on that. Final hours of voting underway. It's so weird that we're at this point, actually, because, hang on one sec. It's so weird that we're at this point now because I feel like this has gone on for so long, like a year plus. It's been going on forever. Even the switch over to Kamala Harris feels like it's been going on for a long time. And now we're at like the crux of it all. That is pretty insane to me. And I'm interested in seeing how tonight plays out. I know we're going to be watching the coverage, Courtney and I. We're going to drink and watch the coverage starting at 7. And then I'll probably be toasted by the time this is really kicking up. I'll probably be toasted and tweet a bunch of really dumb stuff. That's my goal for today. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to have some fun with it. Here's the line at Arizona State University. Drunk dial us? Yeah. I'm going to do the equivalent of that, just with online posts, I think. So yeah, long lines at a lot of these places. I don't know. Let me know if you guys voted today. Who isn't going to be drinking? Right. Yeah. I think that's going to be pretty universal. If you voted today, let me know if there was a long line for you. I know Jack said this morning it's like 30 minutes or so it took him to get out and get to the polls. I see so many tweets and stories that are starting to spin out, and it'll be like, hey, at the place where I'm voting, all the machines are broken. There's no toner in the printers. Everything's messed up. We don't have enough of this. And every time I've seen that so far, where I've looked into it, the counties have said that this is not true. Like in this case, Tyler Boyer, whoever that is, TP Action. He's saying, we have reports of multiple vote centers with ink issues in Maricopa County. That's in Arizona. And they said, we're sending buses to move people to functioning vote centers. And then they're responding. This is somebody for VoteBeat US, a reporter covering elections and voting in Arizona, saying Maricopa County officials confirm at press conference there are no major or widespread issues with toner ink printers at voting centers, just typical maintenance. So there's a lot of the stories that I've seen so far are people hyperventilating about some major problem, and then the problem just doesn't seem to actually exist. I mean, there could be issues. Of course, it's always a possibility. Nevada pulling close in the betting markets. Oh, is this already at Mar-a-Lago? Let's see what it looks like here at Mar-a-Lago. We can't see too much. Obviously, there's nobody here yet, right? Like, you can't judge by the crowd just yet because it is 4:30 when this thing was taken. This is an hour ago. It's 5:23 now. So you're not going to be there at that point. You're some of the first people. But they've got the television on. Who are they broadcasting? What is this? Is it Fox? Because he hates Fox today. What network is that? News Nation, maybe? I cannot tell what network we're looking at there. But that's the early setup at Mar-a-Lago for this whole event, where if Trump wins, I'm sure he'll give a victory speech. And if Trump loses, I'm sure he'll give a victory speech. That's probably how tonight is going to play out. Okay, where's this? Okay, this is inside the venue with nobody there just yet. This is even earlier, I think, than what we just looked at. Oh, it's bigger than I thought in there. That's big. This can't be at Mar-a-Lago then. This is at another location, I would guess, right? This looks too large to be Mar-a-Lago. This looks like a big open place here that I'm seeing. Mar-a-Lago is big, but I don't know that I have any rooms this large. The soundtrack to it is not really popping just yet. Who is favored to win the presidency? This is from Nate Silver, and it couldn't be any closer. His model gave Harris 50 flat and Trump 49.6. The other model gave basically the inverse of this. Trump just a hair of a lead. And popular vote clearly going to Kamala Harris from this model. And the electoral votes so close. I mean, 271 to 267 is just unbelievably close, that back and forth. Actually, let's see. I want to go to the Silver Bulletin story on this. This is Nate Silver. If you don't know who he is, he's a guy who I've talked to before. He is a whiz on elections. He puts together these models to run simulations to see who's going to win. And it's a lot of guesswork, but at least there's some useful information, I think, within it. And let's see what we could find here. All right, national, they've got in their last model that they've run here, Harris at 48.6, Trump at 47.6. That is so close. That is so close. Let's look at some of the states. Arizona, Trump up in Arizona. Florida, Trump 51-44. He's going to win Florida pretty handily, I think. If Trump didn't win Florida, if you hear at like 7 o'clock through exit polls or through whatever early voting data they have, and somehow, some way they call it for Kamala Harris is going to win the election in a landslide. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Trump is going to win the state of Florida pretty handily. He's doing fairly well in Florida. Florida used to be a swing state. What happened? What happened? We were a swing state like 3 elections ago. And now we're not even in the mention of any of these swing state talks. We have nobody who puts us in that mix. It's pretty clear who's going to win the state, as I showed there. 51 to 44. We're not a swing state anymore. All Day Yucker says Northern Red refugees. Bootsy says I moved here. Is that you're the one who tilted the balance in the favor? We're no longer a swing state because of you. I don't know. I think the reason is because Miami-Dade is really swinging to the right. They're really turning to the right. Miami-Dade, which has the craziest demographics. Hang on. I tweeted this out the other day. So wild to me what things look like under the hood in Miami. Hang on. Also, fuck this guy. For those of you, there was a lot of people who were defending this fucking loser at the football game who the cop punched him. And in this video, you can see it so clear. Hang on. How can I get a better look of this? What happens if I go full screen? I'm not going to be able to see anything. Shit. All right, here it is.
Hey, sir, you've been ejected, so we all leave.
You've been ejected, you have to leave.
This lady here assaulted me, and I have it on camera. You would like to see it?
It's their private property. They want you to leave, so you have to leave.
It's her private property?
Listen,
Remember I told you I'm either going to kill a cop or not leave.
Okay, I'm either going to kill a cop or not leave.
Get up.
49, spend a couple more units.
Get up. Look up,
Stop it right now.
I didn't do anything against the law. So tell me what my crime was.
Right now it's been trespassing. Get up. Come on. Come on.
You don't touch me. She tried to kidnap my kids.
I get it.
Can I talk?
Also, I fucking love this because remember that this idiot just said, I'm either going to kill a cop or leave, right? So that's what he started with, okay?
There's a good way to do it.
There is a good way
We're
to
going to go
talk.
downstairs and talk, but there's a good way. There's a right way, there's a wrong way.
There's a right way.
The way you're doing
I'm
it
still
right,
sitting in my seat.
the way you're doing it right now is wrong.
No, I'm still sitting in my seat.
Right now,
I'm still sitting in my seat.
You have to go
The right way is for me to tell you what happened, because I'm not leaving with all 5 of my kids here. I'm not leaving.
They can go with you, or you can go
They're
to
not
jail.
doing that. I'll go to jail. I'm gonna beat your I'm gonna go to jail, DJ Bowers.
I'll beat your ass, he said.
Dude, you're not going to do that. I promise.
I will do that.
I'm trying to keep
I'm
you
not
from going to
leaving.
jail.
She tried to kidnap my
I
kids.
understand what you're saying.
She tried to kidnap my
What you're doing
Do not
is
touch
wrong.
me. Do not touch me.
All right, he just said, do not touch me, N-word, to the black cop over here. Taser. Tries to get a cuff on him. N-word again.
Dude, don't do
Pull the
that.
gun out. Bring it. Pull the gun
Pull the
out.
gun out.
You're going to jail. Come on. You're going to jail. Turn around. Turn around, bro.
I'm not going to jail. You stop me.
Turn around.
Tase again. He pulls him off.
Hit him.
That is assault. Yeah, that is just the most brain dead shit I've ever seen in my life. When you watch this guy screaming out all this stuff, saying he's going to kill a cop, and then he's refusing arrest and all these things, and then when the cops do the inevitable, which is they've got to try to subdue this guy who's a threat to them, who's saying he's going to kill a cop and beat him up and all these things. When the cop starts hitting this guy, oh my God, it's assault. It's assault. It's such a weirdo whiner tactic. It really is. Now he says, y'all getting sued. I'm fixing to get rich, he says, right? Y'all are getting sued. I'm fixing to get rich.
I'm fixing to get rich. You're not fighting anybody. I've been fighting everybody.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, you go from I'm going to kill a cop to I'm fixing to get rich. No. See, all it takes is people seeing the actual footage of this to I think, change some minds. So anyways, that guy is an asshole. Let me go back now to the Miami demographics. Wait, hold on. Why did it pull me out of there? Okay, Miami-Dade demographics. I only got like 30 minutes left, and then we're all going to party on our own. I'll probably be on Discord. I'll probably poke into Discord later. Okay, here's Miami demographics. Okay, citizenship. 71% of Miami residents, so think Miami-Dade, 71% of them are U.S. citizens. In most places, 93% of residents are U.S. citizens. So damn near 30% of people in Miami are not actual U.S. citizens. The number's probably far higher than that, but that's just the number known on the record. Foreign-born population in Miami. 57.8% of Miami residents were born outside of the United States. That's 6 out of 10 of these people in Miami were born outside of the United States, which is higher than the national average of 13%. Okay, this is what Miami looks like. Spanish or Spanish Creole is the most common language spoken at home in Miami. The largest groups of foreign-born residents in Miami are from Cuba, Nicaragua, Honduras, Haiti, Colombia, and the Dominican Republic, it says, right? And then you can see how this has changed over years, and the Hispanic population since 1990 has gotten a lot bigger. The white population has gotten a little bit bigger, and the black population, which you can barely see down here, has gotten much smaller, actually, in Miami, maybe for a variety of different reasons. But you have all of these folks down there, and for various reasons, they are not lining up with Democratic ideals any longer. And that county, Dade County, is shifting to the right. And Dade County going red alone is kind of crazy. But if Dade County goes farther to the right and farther into the red than I think a lot of people expect, that could be some evidence that this is going to be a landslide in the direction of Trump. So yeah, that's what that's looking like there. Hang on, let's get back to the election feed. Here's Kamala Harris's campaign advisor.
It'll be a long day. We don't expect this race to be called early, but we are optimistic that we are literally about to be able to turn the page on Donald Trump and install Vice President Harris as the next president of the United States.
That's a weird way to say that. We're going to turn the page on Donald Trump and install Vice President Harris as the next president of the United States. Why would you just say, like, she's going to win the election? The word install seems crazy. Seems a little bit forced. Was that too loud? Sorry, guys. Hang on. It was because that other video was so quiet. Hang on. Let me play that again. Tell me if it works this time.
It'll be a long day. We don't expect this race to be called early, but we are optimistic that we are literally about to be able to turn the page on Donald Trump and install Vice President Harris as the next president of the United States.
It's clipped, too. That's a 14-second clip. It's meant to get that same impression off. All right. Oh, hold on. We have so much stuff going on here. Let's just look at some of these other states real quick. Georgia, that is so close. That's 1 point between the two of them. And look how long it's been locked in for. Like, it hasn't been wildly separated. It's been so close right there. And you'll see big pops come in for Harris in Georgia. Obviously, like Atlanta and Fulton County, you're going to see big numbers come in for Kamala Harris. But Georgia's big, and there's a lot of places that are outside of city centers, and Trump will probably win a lot of those places. Iowa, with a twist at the end to Trump, that looks fairly comfortable. Minnesota, really close. I mean, it's less. Well, it's just over a point between the two of them in Minnesota, or Michigan, rather. This is Minnesota. Pretty close. It looks like a comfortable margin for Harris. How's she doing in Pennsylvania in the last one? Oh, my God. Trump at 48.2 and Harris at 48.1 in the final run through in Pennsylvania. I mean, it doesn't get a lot closer than that. I don't know how much you can see of this. But yeah, Trump 48.2, Harris 48.1. That's obviously within the range of any kind of error statistically on this poll, and couldn't be more of a nail biter there. Texas, Trump up real good or decent, at least in Texas. Virginia, Harris is on top there. So Georgia is one to watch. Pennsylvania, definitely one to watch. This is very close too. This is just a point in Wisconsin. So that's a state to watch. New Hampshire, Harris got a really good set of polls at the end in New Hampshire. And if those pan out, then she should be able to win that state. Nevada, look again. It's just 0.6 between the two of them in the state of Nevada. And all of this adds up. It's so much over time. Okay, let's see what else we got. This is our voter turnout over history. There's so much drama posting too. Like I know this guy who posts stuff generally politically to the right, deep sigh, it's over. And then you get a whole bunch of people going, oh, fuck, did we lose the election? Oh, no, what happened? And then it's my cupcakes are done. We do a little trolling. All right, I'm getting a lot of this too. Let's do some testing here. They're saying if you search for things like where can I vote for, it'll suggest Harris, Kamala Harris. It'll suggest President near me, President 2024, Dancing with the Stars, the VMAs, Big Brother, the Grammys. Let's see how this works practically in real time. All right, Google. Where can I vote for? Kamala Harris is on top, and it does not say Trump. It says Kamala Harris, and then it says president, which would be the more general thing. But Trump is not a recommendation at all, which seems kind of surprising. What if I put it? Clearly they don't want Trump to come up in these, because if I put T up, they don't even suggest. You don't even suggest that Trump is going to be there. That seems a little fishy, right? Okay, what if I put K, Kamala Harris? If I put H, A, no, it doesn't bring up her last name. What about, no, not Donald Trump either. This is just autofill, obviously, but it just looks kind of fishy to have it that way. What if I do search for where can I vote for Trump? The story about Google's search being screwed up on Variety is up top. Google explains why search for where can I vote for Harris showed a map while similar search for Trump didn't. Updated, a new conspiracy implying Google was trying to meddle in the closely watched presidential race between Kamala Harris. Fuck you. I hate the modern web. Okay. A new conspiracy theory implying Google was trying to meddle in the closely watched presidential race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump took root on Election Day. But the search giant said there's a logical explanation for why searches about where to vote for each candidate were different. Earlier Tuesday, searches on Google for where can I vote for Harris displayed a where to vote map that lets users enter their street address and find their polling location. However, a Google search for where can I vote for Trump did not show a similar map. According to Google, the where to vote panel was appearing for some specific searches for Harris because that's also the name of a county in Texas. Similarly, a search for where can I vote for Vance was triggering the map panel because of Vance County, North Carolina. Why wouldn't they have ironed this out beforehand? Google should know stuff like this is going to happen. The internet company replying to a post on X by Elon Musk highlighting the issue said a fix is coming. And let's see the actual response they had to Elon Musk, because I did see him post this. So there's a lot of context here. Okay, somebody says Google shows a where to vote section with a map for Kamala Harris, but not for Donald Trump. Google is the biggest corporate donor to the Democratic Party. Elon says, are others seeing this too? And then so community notes, and Google responds, thanks for this. The where to vote panel is triggering for some specific searches because Harris is also the name of a county in Texas. That happens for Vance too because it's also the name of a county. Fix is coming. Note, very few people actually search for voting places this way. Okay, fair enough. But I really do think they should have been prepared for all of this, because these kind of things are what starts little fires and people think that there's not a fair election going on. Like somebody's trying to tip the scales. As of around 3:30 p.m., Google searches for where can I vote for Harris were no longer showing the voting map panel. To be sure, it's far more likely interested voters were simply trying to search where to vote or where can I vote, queries that do show the where to vote map. The different results in searching on Google for where can I vote for Harris, where can I vote for Trump were called out in a post by the Doge Designer account. And then they talk about Google just donating money. It is weird, though, that when I put where can I vote, now it's giving me Trump because I previously searched it. Yes. All right. So if I delete that, where can I vote for Kamala Harris? It is kind of weird that Trump is not in that, isn't it? Like, that makes you think they're really trying to point you in one direction here. And then if I put D for Donald Trump, Dancing with the Stars, Driver of the Day, O, now I got nothing. NAL, that, I know it's kind of like really a tiny thing, but it seems like somebody as big as Google would have focused on that beforehand. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have 19 minutes, folks. We got to make the most of it. One Direction RIP. Yeah, I mean, we're going back in time here. I think that's from a while ago. This was a crazy story right here. For those of you who don't know, this is a guy named Nicholas Wimbish. Okay, this dude right here. And the story came out about him at this polling area in a polling location in Milledgeville, Georgia. And this guy had a run-in with a voter, and him and the voter are like screaming at each other. And the voter's like, fuck you. You know, they hate each other, right? And then he leaves the polling place and goes home and finds all the publicly available information about himself, this guy does, right? And then he writes a bomb threat and sends a bomb threat in aimed at him, aimed at himself. And he tried to make it look like the voter he got in a fight with sent in a bomb threat, and they found out the call was coming from inside the building, so to speak. And so this guy got arrested as a result of all of this. Rate this setup. Rate this election setup. Air mattress. I slept on one of these for 4 years. I slept on an air mattress much like this for 4 years. Not even a good one. So I'm familiar with the sleep on the floor life, basically. That I can get behind. The chair, this chair has got to go. This is a very low quality, uncomfortable chair. We do not have a back on this chair. And this, if this was in my studio, you would all yell at me and say, how dare you make that a table for whoever was using it? These things are bad. But that, my friend, is not what the true sin in this election setup is. What's the true sin? What's the actually terrible thing about this election viewing setup? It's not the mattress. It's not the chair. It's not even the TV being kind of small. There you go. There you go, Biha. The cords. Cable management here is not good. Look, we just have stuff rolling over here. Over here, it's a rat's nest. I can see up and behind here. Doesn't take a lot of work to hide the wires, folks. Just put in a little extra, a little bit extra. You got to have a better setup than that. I'm sorry. Let's see. John Roberts here talking on, what is this? Is this, John Roberts is on CNN, right?
Pennsylvania, and in the particular county here that is very important is Philadelphia County. There are estimates that because of the depressed early vote for Democrats, that Kamla Harris is going
no, this is Fox News.
700,000 votes here in Philadelphia in order to pull out a win. Let's take a look at the historic vote here. Hillary Clinton got 560,000.
Whoa, look at Philadelphia County. They hate him. 15% he got against Hillary Clinton. Mind you, he won that election, right? He won that election. And in Philadelphia County, he got 15% of the election. That is really a one-sided county. God, imagine being a Republican in that county. You'd have nobody.
In Philadelphia in 2016, in 2020, Joe Biden got 603,000. So she's going to need another 100,000 votes here.
Yeah, I know the audio is low, but if I crank it up on this, everybody's posting bad clips so far with low audio. If I crank it up, then I'll go to the next one and blow all your ears out. People Googling today, did Joe Biden drop out? This has got to be memeing, right? This has to be memeing. Because there's no way that you just today, on the 5th of November, 2024, found out that Joe Biden is not running for office. How is this person this disconnected? That's memeing. It's got to be memeing. I refuse to believe that people are not understanding that. Did Joe Biden die? What it peaked a lot right there. What's this day? Yeah, I don't believe that there are more than a handful of people who are waking up today and going, wait, what are our choices? Who do we got? Exit polls. Let's see what we got from the exit polls. This will be interesting. First polls closing soon, says Politico. First parts of Indiana and Kentucky close at 6 p.m. That's in 14 minutes. That is followed by a slew of states at 7 p.m. So we get data as soon as 14 minutes from right now. But right now, we got the exit poll. And let's read into those. Let's see if we can get to the actual like crosstabs and stuff. I want the PDF is what I want. I don't want the I hate when people just do like an overview of it. Okay, exit poll data. The state of democracy and the economy in the United States were the top issues on the minds of voters as they cast ballots in the 2024 presidential election, according to preliminary results from the NBC News exit poll. 35% of voters said democracy mattered most to their vote. If you are reading into that and you see that democracy mattered most to their vote, what do you take from that? Do you take that the person who says democracy mattered most to the vote is a Trump supporter or a Kamala Harris supporter? What do you take from that? If 35% of voters, the top thing, say democracy mattered most to their vote. Because I could actually swerve that either way. Like I could think that it's about the future of this country. Kamala Harris, there won't be any more elections. This is to preserve democracy in the United States, to save America. I'm trying to save democracy. I would think that I could make an argument for that going to the right and Republican votes. And I can also make an argument to that going to the left. They're saying like Trump is a fascist and Trump is going to be a dictator on day one. All these like memes that are out there. 35% of voters saying democracy mattered most of their votes. So I'm not sure how far into that we can look. 31% said the economy stupid. Abortion 14%. Immigration, 11%, ranked as the most important issues that followed. Just 4% named foreign policy. So all you people in the watermelon crew who are hyperventilating about Gaza, only 4% of these voters cared about foreign policy at all, or they thought it was a top priority. Men and women both said the state of democracy was their most important issue, followed by the economy. 2 in 10 women said abortion was the most important. 2 in 10 women, that's it? That seems to be a bad sign, actually, for Democrats. If only 2 in 10 women, only 20% of the female voters said their number one voting issue was abortion, that seems to be bad. 8% of men. Immigration was ranked slightly higher among men, 12% than women, 10%. Foreign policy lagged behind as a priority for both groups. The exit poll results could shift throughout the night as more interviews are conducted, yada, yada, yada. So how do you feel about the way things are going in the country? All right, what do we take from this? Huh? What do we take from this? If somebody is enthusiastic, right? Enthusiastic about where things are going in the country and the way they're going, I say that's a Kamala Harris voter. I'm going to say that that's a person who is enthusiastic about a continuation of the policies from here on out, and that's going to be a Kamala Harris voter. If somebody is satisfied, right, with the way things are going on in the country, this pink bar, I would say that's a Kamala Harris voter right there. Somebody who is satisfied is saying more of the status quo. She's a vice president. They should make her president, yada, yada. Dissatisfied. I'm thinking this is people who are voting for Trump. Because why would you say things are going, I'm dissatisfied with the way things are going in the country right now, and I'm going to vote for Kamala Trump. She's the vice president right now. I would say that those dissatisfied voters right there in the exit poll are Republican voters. Angry could go either way, I think. What do you think? What do you take from these? Angry as the January 6th protesters? Angry could just simply be, I'm angry at what's happening in my country. I'm angry at what happened with abortion rights. I'm angry at what happened. Angry could be so many different things can fit into that category. But I am for sure that enthusiastic and satisfied means you're happy with the status quo, those are Kamala Harris supporters there. If you are dissatisfied, it doesn't seem like you're a Kamala Harris supporter. Not to me. At the News Junkie, if the country doesn't fall apart after tonight, what do you think would be the front runner, or who do you think would be the front runner for 2028? No idea. Zero clue. Hopefully brand new, fresh faces. Hopefully we can have a 4-year reset here, and whoever wins, we go on a little bit of a ride, and then from there, we get new, younger people. Nearly half, 45% of the voters said they are financially worse off now than they were 4 years ago. Who are they voting for? right? Who are these people voting for? 45% of them saying, right now, I'm financially worse off than I was 4 years ago. That's a rate of dissatisfaction higher than any presidential election going back to 2008, when 42% of voters said they were worse off in the wake of that year's financial crisis. Just 1 in 4 voters say they are better off now than they were 4 years ago. This seems to be kind of catastrophic for Democrats, if I'm reading this correctly. If you have record numbers of voters who are saying they are financially worse off right now than they were 4 weeks ago, I think you are looking at a potential loss. That doesn't seem to be good. The early exit poll results also show that voters who backed Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have different priorities on the issues. Shocker. I'm just absolutely stunned. A majority of Harris voters prioritize the state of democracy. Okay, so they're saying a majority of Harris voters were those people saying, I'm voting to protect democracy, if that's the case. Abortion was the second most important issue to Harris voters, with 2 in 10 of them saying it mattered the most to their vote, followed by the economy, foreign policy, and immigration. Half of Trump supporters said the economy was the most important issue to them, followed by immigration, democracy. So a chunk of those people talking about democracy was Trump supporters. Abortion, 6%, and foreign policy, 4%. Which issue? All right. Here we have Harris voters right here on the left. Democracy was their big issue. Economy was their second issue as compared to Trump voters. And that's obvious. You're going to say that the economy is fine if you're a Harris voter because you're probably supporting her and you're probably supporting Biden. You're probably going to say things are more rosy than you would say if you were a Trump voter. Abortion. Harris voters said that was important to them. The second most thing behind democracy was abortion for them. And Republicans not nearly on that height. Immigration, not at all important to these Harris voters and very important to a lot of the Trump voters, which, again, not a surprise. 3 in 10 voters nationally said the candidate quality that mattered the most in deciding how they voted for president is the ability to lead. About a quarter said they prioritize somebody who can bring needed change, followed by a candidate who has good judgment and somebody who cares about people like them, 19%. The preliminary exit polls also found that just 41% of voters approved of President Joe Biden's job performance, while 59% disapproved. That's markedly lower than Trump's job rating, 50%, when he lost his reelection bid in 2020. Yeah, this seems bad for Harris supporters. This doesn't seem great, which underscores that Harris needs voters to view her as differently from Biden. Breaking the electorate down by race, Trump's favorability rating has fallen among white voters while ticking up among black and Latino voters compared to 4 years ago. 49% of white voters view Trump favorably compared to 57% in 2020. So you could see white males dropping down from 57% in 2020 to 49%. Latino voters going from 38% to 42%. Miami-Dade County, right? Miami-Dade County right there on display. 38 to 42%. Black voters going from 10 to 14%. Not a huge shift, but a shift nonetheless. And I think that's some pretty interesting info that shows us that if you're a Democrat, you'd probably be a little bit worried right now. You might be a little worried about the exit polls. Now, the exit polls are not always accurate. People are not always honest with these folks. If you don't know how this works, these are literal people from NBC News who stand outside the polling locations. They put them in various cities across the country. And when somebody comes out, they ask them, hey, did you just vote? Yes, I did. Are you a Republican or a Democrat? Okay. What was your top voting issue? What's your second top voting issue? They actually ask them these questions outside of the polling areas themselves. And this is one of the big, giant, frightening numbers. Not frightening, but I guess like shocking numbers. 82.6 million mail-in and early in-person votes were cast. 82.6 million votes were cast, including Florida, where 8.2 million ballots were cast, putting the Republicans at 43, Democrats at 33, and then how do you split up the other? You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to decide. Let me see. I can show it to you better there. You can see Florida, 8.2 million ballots, Republicans 43, Democrats 33, and other. That looks like it's going to go very clearly to Republicans, but it all depends on where the other goes. Let's say it's split dead even. You'd have Republicans at 55 and Democrats at 45. That's not looking good for Democrats in the state of Florida. That would be a pretty big margin if that was the way this actually went. Wall's saying he's excited. Oh, they're watching in Paris? Even though we're in Paris? Look, the world is watching us vote. Look at us go. We really are something. First polls close in 1 hour and 2 minutes. Kinda. You got those other polls that I said at 6 o'clock. More bomb threats, I guess, at some of these places. Michigan and Wisconsin. And now we're just all zeroed out. We're waiting for the numbers. So get comfy. Everybody, who do you think is going to win? Let's get our last minute predictions in here. Who do you think is going to win the election? I want your last minute prediction just for president. Not popular vote, none of that stuff. Just want to know who you think is going to win. Not even if you like them or don't like them, or if you voted for them or didn't vote for them. Yo mama, there's a chance. Kanye 2025, I don't think is going to happen. Bootsy thinks Trump is going to win. Want Kamala think Trump's his co-elect. My write-in candidate, C-Lane. Snoop Dogg. Oh, if we only could. Imagine the United States of Snoop Dogg. What a world it would be. So it's going to be fun. I'll be watching Discord for everybody who's over there while the results are coming in. I'll be tweeting. Go to @thenewsjunkie on Twitter/X. And I'm thinking about doing an after show stream maybe later on in the week where I'll prepare for it a little bit more and get everything ready to go. But I love you. I appreciate you. And you guys have a